Cd9 Life Coaching with Earthos. The Sacred Council, 9 out of 32. The guiding force of Earthos. Earthos, the guiding force of solids and energy of Earth. Experience your life as a respectful visitor. I am Earthos, keeper of the first dimension, representing the energy of Earth and solids, which gives form to all, but who also assists in the recycling of all things in Crystallia, the creation. I am also called the keeper of manifestations and recycling. You know me very well, as I am the main substance of most things you can see and touch around you. On Mother Earth, I represent the gravity, the soil, rocks, and gems, and I am the ground or soil on which you have your momentary adventure. And through my connection with the energy of the moon, the night, the mountains and the caves, I give you the time to sleep, relax, reflect and hibernate. It is wonderful to be back amongst the mountains that remind us of our vulnerability, our ultimate lack of control over the world we live in. Mountains that demand humility and yield so much peace in return. Alex Lowe, end of quote. My presence is strongly felt in the night and during the winter. I give you the sense of feeling grounded in your momentary adventure, but also remind you that you cannot hold on to anything of this world. Quote, for those who wish to climb the mountain of spiritual awareness, the path is selfless work. For those who have attained the summit of union with the Lord, the path is stillness and peace. Bhagavad Gita, end of quote. In your body, I represent myself as your skeleton, your physical foundation, and also represent myself as your skin and the lower body openings located at the rectum, center, through which you eliminate. I am the substance and the structure for everything in your momentary adventure. From the structure of the planets, the planet Earth, the structure of nature, the structure of your body, your home, the community, city, and of course, the structures of your daily life, the family, work, your country, and the structure of your spiritual work. However, be aware that this structure is not permanent, and that you do not get frantic about it. For the structure is a means to an end. Too many wars are fought inside yourselves, between others, countries, different races, and in the name of God and religion. Quote, when men are inhuman, take care not to feel towards them as they do towards other humans. Marcus Aurelius. End of quote. I can guide you with all the aspects connected to my energy, but do not forget that I am, however, just like you and anything else in Crystallia, a creation of opposites. When you fail to tune into my positive side, you can experience to feel lost, stuck and constipated, wanting to control things and people, holding on to the things of this world, and even falling down into greed. Quote, all life is an experience. Ralph Waldo Emerson, end of quote. Everything goes through its own phases of experiencing itself in creation and has its own lifespan, after which it recycles itself to be used again to manifest something else. Through my force, I keep you busy gathering and trying to hold on to your body, family, and possessions. You may ask, why would you do something like this? And I will tell you that this is part of my job. And as I said before, I am part of the created world, and there are two sides of me, just like within you. You are here to experience the things of Crystallia for some time, after which you have to let go of everything again. You came alone without anything and will depart alone and without anything. Is life just being born, moving around for a while, and then dying? Experience the world, but why not simultaneously reconnecting with that real treasure within? Quote, ask yourself whether the dream of heaven and greatness should be waiting for us in our graves, or whether it should be ours here and now and on this earth. Ayn Rand. End of quote. To sum it all up, I am guiding you regarding matters of elimination or manifestation, manifesting or eliminating, structure or no structure, letting go or holding on, feeling grounded or feeling uprooted, being connected or feeling disconnected, feeling secure or struggling with insecurity, assisting or controlling or feeling lack of control, selflessness or greediness, cleaning or accumulating waste, recycling or crystallizing and poisoning, being fulfilled or filling up and being unfulfilled, experiencing or conditioned experiences, taking care of life gifts or becoming possessive, strengths or weaknesses, life and ongoing experience or feeling stuck and stranded. Earthos, knowing me and knowing what to do with me. Let's see how you unnecessarily struggle with my force in various aspects of your life, how you could change your perspective and even make some practical changes. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and each subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives and angles. Most important is not to forget that all that is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth and not the truth, because the spoken and written word is part of the created world, created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more than can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is brought from our particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. Hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently, or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. Dealing with your real self, the soul. In regards to spiritual living, be sure to build it on a solid foundation, so it can withstand you going through the hurricanes and earthquakes of life. Know that all manifestations in the creations are impermanent, that you cannot hold on to anything and that you cannot control anything, other than learning to get a grip on your sense organs, negative passions, and controlling the mind. You came without anything and will go without anything. All are momentary gifts loaned to you, so practice selflessness. Your comfort will be sitting during meditation and silent inner prayer, alone by yourself and connecting with that stream of eternal life as much as possible, also during the day. Quote, for those who wish to climb the mountain of spiritual awareness, the path is selfless work. For those who have attained the summit of union with the Lord, the path is stillness and peace. The Bhagavad Gita. End of quote. Dealing with your mind. In regards to managing and dealing with your mind, know that the mind is a manifestation of matter, and the energy is called ether, which is the thinnest material substance in existence. The duty of the mind is to keep you away from your soul and the Creator, keeping you busy with the things within your mind and reflecting themselves in the external world. By connecting to the things of the world, your mind will try to find security and will try to hold on to anything in order to feel being in control and secure. Under the dictates of the mind, run by the sense organs, you will do anything in regards to control and security, and are even willing to go at war for it. Leading powerful people in their field know this and offer you this false security. Just listen carefully or watch their advertisements. Their intentions is to become more rich and more powerful and trapping you from an early age for the rest of your life. You are just the slave of the mind and the things related to the world. As long as you think about worldly things, it will bind you to the world, and your thoughts and connections to the things of this world will go with you even after you lay off your earthly garment. The mind recycles itself only when you merge with the Creator or have only thoughts for Him. As little there is on what you can control in your life, there is a lot you can do to control it. Quote, "There is neither self-knowledge nor self-perception to those whose senses are not under control. Without self-perception there is no peace, and without peace there cannot be happiness." Bhagavad Gita. End of quote. Dealing with your body. In regards to dealing with your physical body, know that it is a composition of all material substance, but the earth substance reveals itself predominantly as your skeleton, which is the foundation of your body. Your feet are the closest to the soil and earth, which gives you that earth connection and the possibility to stand and move around. The earth substance is also the force of recycling connected to your skin and elimination system and the lower apertures in your body. I assist in the cleaning through sweat, urine, and fecal matter. You cannot hold on to this body forever, because one day it will recycle itself. But as long as you have this body, take care of it in the best way possible. Quote, "Death hangs over thee, while thou still alive, while thou may do good." Marcus Aurelius. End of quote. Dealing with communication. In regards to communication, use it as a respectful visitor. Always be open for new and better ways of communicating. Let go of the old, destructive and outdated ways of communicating. You try to be in control of yourself and trying to control others, and creating ways of communication you hold on to in order to accomplish this. You live in an illusion because everything controls you, for the things you think and say are conditioned. And not to forget the needs of your body, the weather, the seasons and the economy, they all control you. Quote, "You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you." Brian Tracy. End of quote. All you say and hear is just a perspective and an opinion, and there is no reason to hold on to any of them, as they are not the truth. The only communication that will get you out of the creation is with God, and that communication is love and devotion. Quote, "Your whole being should be saturated with this devotion, and when the heart is full, no words come out. When we try to preserve this treasure within us and let it penetrate into our very blood and bones, the Lord showers more and more of His grace and blessings on us." Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. Dealing with food. In regards to dealing with nutrition, know that there are earth energy foods, foods that grow below the soil or in dark places, who give you that sense of feeling grounded in a natural way. Often to get grounded, you tend to overeat, which is very hard on your system and leaves too much waste behind. In addition, it is the waste that is left behind of eating foods and ingredients that do not belong in your body, that collects waste that is not easy for the body to get rid of. When waste stays too long in your body, it crystallizes, like honey that sits too long in a jar. What do you think cholesterol, bile and kidney stones are? Nothing more than crystallized waste. The earth on which you have your momentary adventure lets you know to keep on experiencing new and reminding you that you cannot hold on to anything. So when you hang on too much on your food and taste habits, you go against nature and your body will collect too much waste. When that waste is not properly eliminated, you probably get confronted with signs of constipation and know that you go against the recycling system. An optimum functioning body eliminates after each meal and is more a professional cleaner and is not a collector. Your insecurity and wanting to be in control, which you cannot by the way, drives you to extremes of now being able to eat the same foods all year round and everywhere around the planet. All this goes against the nature of your body and against nature in general. In your body, you have a memory and picture created that you must eat a solid meal, which is in general connected to a full packed plate, but know that this is all just too heavy and your body has to work very hard and spending more energy in the process than the energy you should get from your foods. Getting back to earth energy foods. Know that they are also excellent to consume in the evening and in the winter time. Think about a carrot and ginger salad, beets, mushrooms and radishes and garlic and soups mainly prepared with the foods coming from below the soil or who grow in dark places. In addition, think about the cleaning and healing properties of potatoes, carrots, onions, ginseng, garlic and beets. Do some research. Quote, I have named the destroyers of nations, comfort, plenty and security, out of which grow a bored and slothful cynicism, in which rebellion against the world as it is, and myself as I am, are submerged in listless self-satisfaction. John Steinbeck, end of quote. Dealing with staying fit. In regards to fitness, you all need a sense of feeling connected to the earth, and you all need to assist in the cleaning of your own body. Exercising gives the body a sense of grounding and assists in the cleaning of waste material. Working with weights will help even more to ground you, and strong muscles help you to burn more as you can put more energy into the exercise motions. However, watch out for holding on to stagnant and boring routines. Do not go extreme and thinking that a great physique body and looking strong can overcome your insecurities. How can you build a security system on a body that could fall apart through sickness and emotions at any moment? Quote, it takes more courage to reveal insecurities than to hide them. More strength to relate to people than to dominate them. More manhood to abide by thought-out principles rather than blind reflex. Toughness is in the soul and spirit, not in muscles and in an immature mind. Alex Carras. End of quote. Dealing with your life partner. In regards to your relationship, Know that a partner brings a feeling of being grounded and connected, which is a nice experience in the mortal world of mind and matter. It is a world which constantly changes and in which you cannot find permanent security, and in which you cannot hold on to or control anything. So do not make your partner into a possession or try to hold on to and control your partner. When you try to control someone, you will have to carry that person, and you will get constipated in one or more areas of your life. Life is an ongoing experience, full with new and different adventures, and so it is with a relationship. Quote, "Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls." Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. Dealing with your children. In regards to parenting, never forget that children come through you, but they are not from you. Give them a sense of protection, but be careful to not overprotect them. It is not for you even to carry your children, otherwise they will not learn to walk on their own. They have to experience life in their own way, so give them the opportunity to experience life different than yours. Be careful to tell your children how to live their life. Instead, guide them to find their own. Assist your children to build their own life, and do not build it for them. Quote, "What we instill in our children will be the foundation upon which they build their future." Steve Maraboli. End of quote. Remind them that they are in a world in order to experience constantly new things, but in order to do that, one must learn to let go of the old. This is adventure. Children need to have a shelter to feel secure and grounded, and those feelings you can give them from letting them be close to you. Give the children a home where they always can come back to in order to rest, rejuvenate, and where they can find some ears who just listen. Children pick up on your feelings, and for that reason give your children security by feeling secure and safe yourself. Give your children your inheritance right now by spending time with them. Assist them rather than controlling them, which makes them dependent and insecure. Guide them in matters of strength, power, and control. Explain them that they are under your wing, who have a good idea what is right and what not good for them. Make them aware of them wanting the power of wanting to do whatever they want, which is not yet in their hands. The power to play computer games and watching TV or eating sweets and many more things is not in their hands. That power is still in your hands or other adults around them. When they want to play power with these things, make them see that will run into a lot of trouble, as the adults will have to overpower them. Make them aware that they have a lot of power in other matters. The power which is in their hands is about following, in order to learn. They have the power to clean up, to brush their teeth, to put their clothes away and doing their homework. Here is where they have the power, and tell them to not give that power away by not doing what they have to do, because then they give their power away to those around them, now telling them to do those things and feeling told to and possibly resisting. Remind them over and over again to not play this losing game, but to learn to walk in and with their power, what they can have and what they need to do. Dealing with preserving the planet. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that all you consume takes from the planet's resources. So, what you all do to the body of Mother Earth the household waste, but even worse, the producing of it all, the items you use in the house, which is a tenfold waste compared to what you throw in the trash. You need to participate in recycling, but far more important, not buying into the extreme consumer society which keeps the manufactories going. Quote, "The care of the earth is our most sacred and most worthy, and after all our most pleasing responsibility. To cherish what remains of it and to foster its renewal is our only hope." Wendell Berry. End of quote. You do not give the soil any rest anymore to recover, and you mass produce with the help of artificial fertilizers and pesticides. You receive poor energy foods, contaminate your body and destroy the very soil which needs to bring you life. Quote, "The earth we abuse and the living things we kill will, in the end, take their revenge, for in exploiting their presence we are diminishing our future." Mariah Maness. End of quote. The planet shows you endless signs, but it is your greed that lets you continue. The comfort you seek will be your destruction. Quote, "If we go on the way we have, the fault is our greed, and if we are not willing to change, we will disappear from the face of the globe to be replaced by the insect." Jacques-Yves Cousteau. End of quote. Dealing with the teenage years. In regards to the teenage years, it doesn't need to become a battle of power and control, because parents and the teenager need to be clear on their positions. The rules and regulations are in the hands of the parents, and the teenager, in return, has the power to follow them, has a room and board, and possibly much more. It is not so much a game of control, but rather of proper management. This model you can find on the streets, in each home, each business, and even in nature. In life, there are more things controlling you than you can control, and it is even better to leave the control out, and rather assist yourself in all these frameworks in life. When you work somewhere, you would first of all behave differently. So why treating your parents with less respect? Secondly, when you want to become a manager in your life and not having the boss or manager sitting on your back, just be one step ahead of the game and have the things done before anybody can say anything to you. By this, you are more free, so practice this at home. Quote, "Laws control the lesser man, right conduct controls the greater one." Mark Twain. End of quote. In regards to feeling home, remember that none of you is from here where you are. Ground yourself through connecting with the earth and others, but you cannot plant yourself forever on this planet. Dealing with getting older. In regards to dealing with getting older, the older you become, the lesser you need, and the lesser you need in life, the lesser responsibilities you have. So give away as much as possible. Quote, "The saddest thing I can imagine is to get used to luxury." Charlie Chaplin. End of quote. The older you become, the more evidence you have that there is very little you can control. Becoming older, you have had an opportunity to be the earth and grounding element for the younger ones. As you become more aware of the countdown towards death, let's start preparing for the inevitable to come. Let's keep in mind that death actually doesn't exist. The elements from which you are made of, they recycle themselves, and your real self, the soul, lives forever, so the adventure continues. The pain connected to death are just your attachments to a world you cannot take anything from. Attach yourself to God through whatever means, and the detachments will take place without pain. Quote, many have not been told that birth into a physical world is a death in the spiritual worlds from which they came. Hence, most are never aware that death in the physical world is merely a birth into another dimension of life. Jess Holmes. End of quote. Dealing with stress. In regards to dealing with stress, reduce your possessions and obligations, all connected to stress. Stay aware and realize that nothing belongs to you, and you will deal with things and people in a less stressful way. Assist and guide, rather than trying to control things and people, which is stressful. And when things turn out differently than you expected, you have an additional stress. Trying to carry and do too much for others goes parallel with a lot of stress. Just offer your help, so they can stand and walk by themselves. Give your body a good bed and plenty of sleep. Watch out for prolonging the evening too long and shortening your sleep. Eat less complex foods and heavy meals, which cause a lot of stress to the body. Avoid eating late at night, as it costs lots of energy for the body, who is in the cycle of assimilation and not digestion. As a result, coming up a lot of stress again. Stop being a pain in the neck and a pain in the butt to yourself and others, all resulting in stress. Quote, finish each day before you begin the next, and interpose a solid wall of sleep between the two. This you cannot do without temperance. Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. Take many short breaks as much as possible during the day, going to the bathroom, washing your hands, waiting a couple of minutes before you start the car, or saying a little prayer before you start new things. Keep your feet on the ground and stay grounded. Surround yourself with earth material and objects and earth colors. Stop looking for securities in so many aspects of your life, all bringing stress and resulting in more stress. Life is an adventure without certainties and securities. Quote, security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of man as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Helen Keller. End of quote. Dealing with weight. In regards to dealing with weight, know that weight is connected to holding on to, and losing weight is connected to letting go of things. Make yourself lighter in life and simplify your life. Get rid of too many obligations. What and whom you try to control, you must also carry. Look at what and whom you are trying to control and change it into assisting. Let go of your old ways of thinking about yourself and the world. Let go of your old ways of communicating. Let go of your old ways of eating. And let go of your old ways of exercising. Clean the inside of the body for the sake of health and vitality. Get rid of many possessions connected to additional obligations. Clean your home and office and throw away the things you don't use on a regular basis. Clean your mind and write down all your past and momentary frustrations and write them off. When you need to feel grounded, be careful to do this with food. Rather do it with working in the garden or a walk in the woods. Laziness may be comfortable, but moving brings adventure. Maybe underneath there is a negative seed of insecurity, but realize that this seed is in everyone, no matter their situation. Something unfamiliar or unexpected happens, and then you feel insecure. It is not to be secured. Quote, insecurity is just something that is there all the time. I've never been crippled by it. Catherine Keener, end of quote. Be careful to create security by adding to your weight. Fast, or in other words, lay off certain foods, or go on a simple fast, so lots of energy comes free to assist in the cleaning. Dealing with disease. In regards to dealing with disease, welcome the time to hibernate and rejuvenate and assist the body in its cleaning and healing process. Do not just let others control your life, but assist yourself and participate in your own healing process. Assist your body in the most natural ways with the most natural therapies, but stay open for other methods as well. Realize that when something cannot be rejuvenated itself anymore, that it maybe has to be recycled or be removed. The courage to live life fully will also be the courage to get through this stage of life. When you lost your connection and foundation with life before you got sick, maybe the sickness will connect you again and give you that new foundation. You can easily misuse power, but tuning into the power of healing is for a good purpose. Finally, a time for reflection, as you need to step out of the race, rest and rethink what is important. Quote, obey this kind goeth, not out but by prayer and fasting. Matthew 17:21. End of quote. You think that you can control a lot, but when you get confronted with your weak spot, see how little control you actually have. You live your physical life as if it would never end, and times of disease may put things in perspective. It is not for you to carry even your own pains, just as it is not for you to carry anybody or anything, but you only need to assist yourself in and through this healing process. Quote, much of your pain is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals yourself, your sick self. Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. Times of disease is a time for the body to clean itself on many levels. Waste and excessive weight and crystallizations you all do not need. No matter how sick you are, keep those parts that you can move in motion, as the body is designed to move in order to proper function. Dealing with emotions. In regards to dealing with emotions, do you think you can control your emotions by connecting them to people, places and events? It's impossible. The control you have is not to connect them to people, places and events. You cannot get rid of any emotions as they are part of your experience, but you can learn to deal differently with them. Just accept them as individual experiences, but do not connect them. Quote, when you know that you are capable of dealing with whatever comes, you have the only security the world has to offer. Harry Brown. End of quote. Dealing with business. In regards to dealing with your professional life, realize that you came without anything to this world and will depart without anything. Every experience is just a momentary gift, which we are to nourish. The business is not from you to control nor to carry as a burden on your shoulders. It is for you to enjoy and share this present and assist and guide the business and all others involved. Realize that what you like to control, you must carry, and most likely you will end up constipated physically, emotionally, or mentally, or even financially. This is the result of holding on so tight to the things of the world. Quote, in dwelling, life close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. Tao Te Ching. End of quote. Clean on every level and in every corner, because unusual energy creates stagnancy in the business and blocks the room and space for the new to come. Let go of your old ways of doing business, which opens the door for new ways to come. Next to spending most of the time of your life in your bed, make sure to have a good bed, you spend mostly even more time at your business. Make sure to have the best environment possibly and bring those elements in that give great comfort so you feel grounded. Serve the business with all your heart and soul, but do not make it into a god you worship and through which you like to gain just power and wealth instead of sharing it. The essence of having a business or profession is to support your livelihood, to get food and clothing and shelter. Watch out for wanting to be a rich king and ruler, as many obligations go parallel. Your co-workers and the machinery all need rest, otherwise things will break down. When you control your co-workers through authority, you end up back in your parents' home, having to experience authorities and rebellion. Replace control with the word and attitude of assisting, and assist the business, assist the co-workers, and assist yourself in that business or profession. Watch out for control and greed. Keep sharing your fortune by giving work to others and make donations. Build the business on honesty and quality, for what goes around must come around. Quote, greed is a bottomless pit which exhausts the person in an endless effort to satisfy the need without ever reaching satisfaction. Erich Fromm. End of quote. Dealing with destructive habits. In regards to dealing with destructive habits and addictions, know that they will bring absolutely no security in your life because you are in their control. Being part of the destructive habits and addictions is running away from the world and losing your connection. You're feeling grounded and giving all your power away to the addiction. Destructive habits and addictions all have a common ground. You not wanting to face and live life as it is, escaping from life and its obligations, which then becomes double trouble and double effort, getting out of the habit and addiction and finding healthy and positive ways to deal with life. When you cannot deal with life, you either surrender to His will and find the willpower to overcome your weakness, or you surrender to destructive habits and addictions and stay its slave. Quote, if you don't have solid beliefs, you cannot build a stable life. Beliefs are like the foundation of a building, and they are the foundation to build your life upon. Alfred A. Montepart. End of quote. Dealing with studying. In regards to studying, know that all you learn in regards to creation is for a future profession. It is about experiencing and giving you a sense of connection to the world of mind and matter. Be aware, however, that none of that will give you a solid foundation, because there are no guarantees in the world of mind and matter. It is about the experience, and not trying to find security through them, and definitely, it is not about you trying to control or hold on to any of it. When you look for security and a solid foundation, you must go the spiritual path and find that inside of yourself. And this is from above the world of mind and matter. Quote, always keep your mind as bright and clear as the vast sky, the great ocean, and the highest peak, empty of all thoughts. Always keep your body filled with light and heat. Fill yourself with the power of wisdom and enlightenment. Morihei Oshiba. End of quote. Studying is a very long marathon which requires strength and courage in order to make the finish line. The years of study feel often being in a cave and hopefully a preparation for deeper concentration and meditation at a later time in your life. It often feels like having to cross a mountain, especially at exam times, but once crossed, it feels like almost nothing happened. It was nothing. Dealing with friendships. In regards to friendships, accept your friends for who they are. Assist your friends, but do not try to control them. Always free your friends and be open to let them move on. Give your friends a feeling of warmth, security and grounding. Enjoy the common ground you have in whatever aspect of life at this moment in time. But do not try to carry your friends. Give them aid so they can walk themselves. Assist your friends to build their own future, but do not build it for them. Quote, in the sweetness of friendship let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures, for in the dew of little things the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. Friends come and go in different stages of your life adventure. And a real friend is like a cave in which you can rest for a moment to refill and then return to your other adventures. Be that friend you are seeking amongst your friends. Connect with different types and groups of friends in order to keep a wider perspective and deeper and bigger life adventure. Good friends should be like a second home and less complicated. A real friend is there at times of joy, but also at times of sorrow. Quote, and let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebbs of your tide, let him know its flood also. Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. Summary, Earthos. Earthos, the guiding force of solids and the energy of Earth. Most of you forget that you came and will go without anything. You came as visitors to experience the mortal world. You are here on an adventure, and a real adventure is about going into the void, creating and experiencing, not knowing what comes next. You do not connect with your surroundings, and you do not feel grounded, but you want to possess. You want to control and hold on to anything and wonder why you are feeling stranded. I am Earthos, representing the energy of Earth, and I will remind you of these facts in every aspect of your life. Learn to let go of things clean, how to recycle them voluntarily, and how to become strong and feel grounded in your momentary adventure. Summary. Never forget that you came without anything and that you will go one day without anything. Realize that all there is and all you manifest is a part of a recycling system, including your body. Participate in the natural recycling system within your body and externally, and stop working against that system. Realize that nature shares with you, but are you sharing as well? Sharing things which are not even yours. Realize that you are just a visitor for a little while. There is little you can control and hold on to. Look at everything in life that controls you, from the needs of your body to the weather and economy. Instead of trying to control things, situations, and people, move more to assisting. Everything is just an experience, a part of the adventure in creation. Realize that an experience is a one-time experience, and that wanting to have the same or avoiding it connects you to the illusion of security or insecurity. Start acting in the adventure of life with a different attitude, knowing that nothing is yours and that you cannot hold on to anything. In order to stay grounded, without needing to control and holding onto anything or anybody, prepare yourself for the day of how you're going to approach life, others and situations. And at the end of the day, write down your changes, how you handled things differently, by having been exposed to the information about Earthos. Affirmation. I accept all experiences and manifestations in whatever form they come, and voluntarily let go of them. I understand that everything in life's ever-changing adventure is a momentary gift, and practice selflessness. Petrus.